from their debut album out on the Frontiers label. That's Snakecharmer, Nothing to Lose. We've been saying it for some time, it's a cracking album, it really is. And I'm very pleased to say, in fact I should say, I'm honoured, on the line Mr. Micky Moody.
Hello, Steve.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I've just got in from a gig, actually, so I'm having an unwinding bottle of beer.
A hard-working musician, that's what we like to hear. I've got to say, and excuse the pun, but you've really struck a chord with this album.
We're very pleased with it, and I was just talking to somebody at the gig this afternoon, and he was saying how they enjoyed the album, and I had to say myself, it's probably the first album I've listened to where I've actually enjoyed every track myself, because, you know, we're all a little bit self-critical.
Yeah, yeah.
But this album I listened to the other night, because I've got to learn it for the gig, which we're doing in a couple of weeks, and I really enjoyed it. I thought, this is all right, isn't it? I'm probably as excited as you, really.
It's got every sort of element that well, certainly that I like, and judging by the reaction we're getting from the audience here at ARfm and the rest of the staff as well, it's you know, it's got everything you want. It's bluesy, it's rocky, it's got soul, it's got everything in it, really. That's
good to know. And considering it was not a preconceived album, we went in with the first 12 tracks that we'd written, and that's what's on there.
How did the band actually come together? Because I know you've sort of worked on various things, or certainly with some of the musicians on various other projects. You've sort of sat down one day and went, let's do this properly, or what?
Not really. What happened was, I think it was about 3 years ago, I was playing a gig in West London, near where I live. We had a break at half-time, just with some mates, because I like to keep my hand in. I haven't toured so much, you know, for the last few years. And we had a break, and I went to the bar, as you do, and there's Neil Murray standing there with Doogie White.
Right.
And I said, what are you doing here? What a pleasant surprise. Why didn't you call me? I'd have put you on the guest list. Typical Neil. Oh, I won't bother you with that. You know, we paid to get in. I said, God. And we sat down, we had a drink, and we said, we really, you know, we must get together and play, because we haven't worked together since 2006 at the end of the time we spent with M3, with Bernie.
Yep.
And he said, a couple of days later, he called me up, and he said, I've spoken to Laurie, and I've spoken to Laurie Weisfield,
yep.
I've spoken to Harry James, and they're well up for doing something. And the idea was really just to have a bit of fun, going out playing some of the old Whitesnake stuff that
yep.
we knew and loved so well. So we went out as the Monsters of British Rock.
Yes, yeah.
Playing basically, you know, Whitesnake, a bit of Wishbone Ash from Laurie's catalogue, some Thunder, and a couple of tracks from the singer Chris Uzi's band, Heartland. We had a keyboard player at the time called Michael Bramwell, who was a friend of Neil.
Yep.
Because I don't know if you know, but Neil and Laurie have been the principal bass player and guitar player in We Will Rock You.
Yes, yeah.
For 10 years now. So that's how we started. So we went out as the Monsters of British Rock. An agent suggested this name, and we went out and did a few gigs. And then we came to the attention of Martin Darville, who is the manager from Uriah Heep, Martin Turner's Wishbone Ash, Asia, etc., who suggested that we should really make our own album of our own tunes rather than going out being a tribute band to ourselves kind of thing. So we went in the studio November 2011, did the first 2 tracks that we'd written, and it took us almost a year to do the album. Not because we didn't have the material particularly, it was because of people's unavailability.
Yeah, yeah.
That's always been a bit of a hurdle so far. And we finished the album in October. We'd missed the November slot. Martin, in the meantime, had sorted out a deal with Frontiers Records, who suggested we put the album out in February, and it came out a week ago, and we've had very, very good reviews. And it was as simple as that, really.
I think, you probably have found the perfect voice for this material as well in Chris Uzi, haven't you?
Absolutely, and none of us had met Chris before we got together at Easy Hire Studios in London to have a play. He was recommended by our sound man, Pete Dutton, who was in a band with him in the 80s.
Yes, I know. We know Pete very well.
Yeah, good old Pete.
STS touring.
That's absolutely, yeah, up in Manchester.
Yeah.
He said, there's a guy up here I used to work with in a band, you know, doing covers in the 80s, and he's been with Virginia Woolf and Heartland, and said he's a great singer, I'd recommend him. And then this guy turned up, we didn't know him, and it must have been difficult for him coming into a room of hardened pros and having to do the business, which he did. You know, and he's fantastic. And not just his voice, but his lyrics and his melodies are second to none. The guy is he's serious.
Yeah, I mean, Chris has been a long time person I've got a lot of admiration for as well. I mean, those Heartland albums are really, really classy.
Yeah.
And of course, last one on the lineup, of course, is Mr. Wakeman's son.
Well, he was suggested by Martin Darville once more, who was associated with him from... Adam has his own band, which I can't remember the name of. Something like Landscape or something like that. Sorry, Adam, if you're listening, I can't remember. But I mean, I played one gig with Adam back in the company of Snake Stage back in 2000. He depped for us once. And I know his dad, of course, because I've worked with him.
Yep.
And I worked with him at the Sunflower Jam, the one before last. And I've met Rick a few times. He's great. And Adam's a lovely lad. You know, he's a fabulous musician. Yeah. And there again, he's busy as well a lot of the time.
It must be in the genes, because his brother Oliver also a keyboard player.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously, you mentioned the gig. You've got the launch is on the 23rd?
23rd of this month.
At Islington Town Hall.
Islington Assembly Room.
Oh, sorry, Islington Assembly Room.
And I went there the other night because I was not familiar with the gig. And I went to see Focus.
Yep.
Who are also involved with our management.
Yep.
And it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed them. And it's a nice venue. Very, very nice venue.
Now, I know you've also got, I think you've got a festival coming up sometime in the year, and you've also got a gig on the 30th of June at Rock City with Bonfire.
Apparently. You know more than me, Steve.
Well, and us, actually, because we're going to be there.
Okay. Well, they're negotiating at the moment to get us going, to get us on the road and, you know, doing some decent gigs and promoting the album. And I think we'll hopefully be doing, some festivals in the summer. We have the Wayfest booked in already.
That's the one I was thinking of.
That's a nice little festival.
Yeah.
We played it last year.
And, I mean, people are asking, you've got a couple of emails in here already asking if you're actually going to do a full UK tour at some point.
We will do, but there's nothing to report at the moment because I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on. It's negotiation time, but we will do a UK tour. It's just the right time and getting everybody together at the right time. Because, you know, Harry goes out with Magnum and various people, and Adam's out with Ozzy Osbourne and Sabbath, and so it's one of those bands where, you know, it's getting us all together at the same place, but hopefully, you know, our management are very, very good, and, you know, they'll get it so at least we're together, you know, if not full-time, then at least in batches where we can get together and do something.
And I mean, now you've got this, I mean, you've got the album, you said you like it yourself. I mean, has that sort of got the bug back in you to sort of maybe do more?
It has, because I haven't really toured that much, you know, since M3 finished at the end of 2006. I mean, I've been writing and recording library music for TV and making a few albums of my own, guitar albums and things.
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
But I'm a lazy sod as well, so hopefully this will, you know, give me the kick up the backside to get out there and do something.
And I mean, you know, because to say that this material is too good, Micky, you know, we need a second album. Not that straight away, obviously.
Well, you know, it's odd how it came together because we didn't sort of say, right, we want one track that sounds like Fool for Your Lovin' and one track that sounds like, you know, Wishbone. We didn't do that. We just played from the heart, really, just how we felt, and made these little demos and sent them to Chris, because Chris is the lyricist. That's the way we did it, you know, and it seemed to have worked. So we'll continue now that we've made a pretty good album. I think we'll continue writing and sending in our little demos here and there and working on that and keep the thing going. Because when you have this, it's been a nice reaction we've had, a very good reaction. It would be silly not to continue.
Absolutely. In fact, we won't let you not continue. How about that?
Thank you.
Micky, pleasure talking to you. I know we've met many, many times in years gone by. And hope to see you in the not too distant future.
Definitely. I mean, and if you're coming to, if you make it upstairs at Islington, whatever, you know, hopefully I can buy you a half.
Well, I'm sure we will at some point.
Oh, if the album does well, a pint. Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, Micky. Thank you very much.
Thank
We're going to
you.
play out with another track from the album. This is Turn of the Screw.
Thank you.